Guys, I know I'm the last YouTuber on the planet to review Dunkirk, but hey, better late than never. Now, here we go. What's going on, guys? Ryan O'Toole back here again, giving you guys another review. Today I'm reviewing one of the most anticipated movies of 2017, directed by one of the best directors working today, period. And that is Dunkirk, directed by Christopher Nolan and starring Harry Styles, Tom Hardy, Mark Rylance, Kenneth Branagh, Cillian Murphy, and so many others. This review's going to be spoiler free because I don't want to spoil it to anyone who hasn't seen Dunkirk yet. Don't worry, you're safe here. This movie tells the story of the Battle of Dunkirk, where the Britons and the French are trapped on Dunkirk by the Germans. They're getting closer and closer. There's 400,000 men trapped in Dunkirk. German pilots are dropping bombs. There's a bunch of evacuation ships trying to get to Dunkirk as soon as possible to save all of these soldiers, and they have to get out of there before the enemies get closer. Now, I was of course very excited going into Dunkirk because Christopher Nolan is obviously one of my favorite directors working today. He's one of those directors that hasn't made a bad movie yet. I mean, take a look at the Dark Knight trilogy. Inception, Interstellar was kind of okay, but not terrible. And Memento, The Prestige, and Insomnia, and following. This guy has a great track record. Dunkirk had all the hype and all the anticipation for it to be successful. Walking out of Dunkirk, guys, I can say that I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was good. Well directed by Christopher Nolan, action-wise and realistically-wise. But I have to be honest, guys, I left this movie kind of underwhelmed. Dunkirk, to me, I think is a little overrated. I mean, it's a good movie. Before you guys get ready to comment down below, all the Nolan fanboys telling me how much they hate me, I did not hate this movie. I thought it was a good movie, but I left this movie just wanting more. Something about this movie was missing to me. But before I get into the negatives, let me just say what I liked about Dunkirk first. Oh my god, the action sequences, whenever they went down, they went down. And Nolan is the director that does action perfectly. The explosions on the beach, all the dogfighting sequences between the planes with Tom Hardy and them going at each other, those were the best scenes about this movie by far. I wanted more of that intensity. It was gritty whenever I saw it on screen, and everything action about this film blew me away. The setting in this movie is really good. I mean, it captures the Battle of Dunkirk extremely well. It was on location. Everything about this movie was practical and not CGI, and that's what I love. The overall setting, it's not bright, it's dark, it's brutal, intense, like this is a war world. Nothing is pretty about this setting, and that's what Nolan does extremely well, is the overall setting and the sense of awareness is very scary and very dirty. Also, I kind of like Hans Zimmer's score in the movie. It was pretty intense at times. Not one of his best, I'll be honest. It's nowhere near as iconic as the Dark Knight trilogy or Inception, but Hans Zimmer's one of the greatest film composers ever. I mean, the score was really intense in this movie, and I did enjoy it. The superstar, Nolan. He directs the shit out of this movie from start to finish. He told this realistic story perfectly. He captures what he wanted to capture with this film, is to show you how brutal and true this horrible day was for these soldiers. And hats off to you, Nolan. You did a great job, once again, directing this movie. And those are the things I liked about Dunkirk. As I said, something about this movie was missing to me. So let's talk about the negatives. This movie had kind of a problem as to telling us who the main character was. Like, this is a supporting movie. There's not one character that it leans onto that you can kind of connect with. Like, everyone gives good performances, like Harry Styles, Mark Rylance, Tom Hardy, Kenneth Branagh. Everyone does their jobs extremely well, but I kind of had a hard time figuring out who the main character was, and I left this movie disappointed by that. I wanted to find one character I could connect myself to. Also, the pacing in this movie drags a lot from time to time, which kind of disappointed me, because after we saw a really intense, awesome action sequence, it cuts to about 5 minutes of just flip-flopping of the story. I mean, this entire movie is told from 3 perspectives. You see the perspectives of the soldiers, and the perspectives of the sailors, like the rescuers, and also the German pilots. The pacing in those sequences I wish would have been better and more invested, and I kind of felt like they were just serviceable. Let's talk about the rating. This movie was PG-13. I really wanted an R rating for this film. I wanted Nolan to have the guts to not be afraid to go for that R rating, and I kind of felt like he was playing a little bit safe with the PG-13 rating. There's so many scenes in this movie that could have been way more gutty, bloody, intense. Like, I wanted like a Saving Private Ryan and a Hacksaw Ridge feel with those films, because those are masterpiece war films. But here, you get to see intense, gutty gore scenes and some blood, but I wished I would have saw more of that. Like, I would have had an overall more feel if it was like that. And by this movie being PG-13, I kind of had an issue with it and wanted Nolan to try to go for an R rating. In the end, guys, Dunkirk did please me. I think it's a good movie, a good, really good directed film by Nolan once again. Some great action sequences, good serviceable performances, but not a film that I can see as a classic in like 10 years. If it was rated R, it would have been a whole lot. I would have appreciated it a lot more. But overall, if you guys really love this movie, then I respect your opinions. But if I watch it again, I'm hoping I can like it a lot more. On my rating scale, I'm going to give Dunkirk a 4 out of 5 stars. And I got to get this out of the way, guys. Don't think I did not like this movie. I really enjoyed this movie. Just something about this film was missing to me. Alright guys, that was my review for Dunkirk. Have you guys seen it yet? And what did you guys think of it? Did you love it? Did you think it was okay? Or did you absolutely hate it? Let me know down below in the comments. Thank you guys as always for watching this review. And if you guys liked it, give it a thumbs up. And be sure to subscribe today for more content. All my social media links are in the description down below. Be sure to click that notification bell on your way out. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!